Hey everybody, we're back.
Hey
That's
Nate,
probably the cringiest intro ever. How are you?
yeah, it's it's so peaceful when you don't mind to be cringe, right? Because we're always so scared. We want to pretend that we are cool, we are this and that, and you know what? Sometimes we might look cringe, look awful. Sometimes we can be scared. Sometimes we can look totally ugly, and so on. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been teeter-tottering between giving a shit about that and like totally not caring. It's really hard to describe, right?
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I feel like I've gotten like rejected by a few women recently because I look way worse than I used to, and it's from not sleeping and just eating like crap and stuff. But that's why I started this fast. It's not just health. I've learned that my, I feel like my I feel more confident when I look how I want to look for some reason, and then
Of course,
also
yeah.
what you said.
And
Yeah,
you know what is also very tricky in in relationships, right? Is that of course we want to look our best. We want to come across as good looking and smart and whatever the fuck, right? Like communicate our best. And
yeah,
because we want to attract that person. And here's the thing, right? But deep inside, subconsciously, we crave them to accept us with all of our stuff, right? To accept us and love us when we are good looking, when we're ugly, when we are fat, when we are cringe, when we are weak, and so on, right? And they want the same from you, right? And so
yeah.
it's kind of really interesting, right? This dynamic that kind of we want to present this image, right? But then we're hiding inside. The rest of us, we're trying to, all the things that we judge in ourselves, the things that we don't like, we try to hide them. We don't want to show them because we're scared that we will not be loved for that, right? Even though this is the thing that we really want, right? And then it's so scary to say that, right? To tell the other person is like, hey, here's me. I'm like this sometimes, I'm like this sometimes, and can, you know what, like we cannot find that love and acceptance from another person unless it's already here for ourselves, right? Unless we can clearly look at our own deficiencies, what we decided to be the deficiencies, right? From, the things that
Yeah.
others said to us. And can we love the total human, the human the way it is? So,
Yeah, yeah. And you touched on something right at the start of that too, which is like whoever we're dealing with wants to be fully accepted too, like at their best
yeah,
and their
big
worst.
time.
So,
They playing the same exact
yeah,
game, right? Yeah.
yeah, it is the same game, and it's like if you're not willing to be vulnerable enough to give that part of yourself to them, and likewise them to you, then there's really always maybe going to be this struggle to be something that you're not or to be at your best, which causes so much more pain and stress in this human
Yeah.
mechanism, this
Yeah.
machine that we have. It's like a never-ending struggle, and it's not inevitable that it fails, but it'll definitely cause internal chaos if you're not able to be who you are, for sure. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, also,
yeah,
what we are is not a static thing, right? It's not like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, but I'm trying to pretend to be that. I'm many things. I can be kind, I can be an angry asshole, and I can be full of sarcasm, I can be whatever, generous, I can be greedy, I can be funny, I can be very cynical, all those things, right? So I'm not static. I'm very contextual, and uh, and that's really the thing because we end up building a certain story about the other person or about ourselves, and we hope that this is how they are or this is how we are. But it's like this infinite flow of different things. We keep changing, they keep changing, so we cannot grasp onto the static thing like, oh, here's the real me. Well, here's the real you of this moment, and you being scared and pretending to be something else, that's also you. That's exactly you of this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much depth in that too. It's like, man. And it's also it's a big relief when you know that and you feel that internally because like you stop and if you fight like I mean if you're fighting it that's fine. That's a part of who you are. You're a fighter or whatever. But like just to allow yourself to take a deep breath and just be whatever you're being at that moment. Feel what you're feeling at that moment. Like if you're mad, maybe you need to scream like, ah, I'm fucking mad. Like if you're sad and you want to cry, cry. If you're, if you want to go running, go running. And I that took so much pressure off when I started just being true to that stuff inside me. I
Mhm.
quit feeling crazy, and I felt like I was just me.
Yeah.
When before it's like I was keeping up with this
Yeah.
image of myself or something weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
For
It's
me,
like,
it's also the dynamic there is every human being, there are certain emotions that are difficult for us to feel. And typically in our human, then that particular emotion only exists in one of the two states. It's either suppressed or it's kind of like, "Bleh," you know, pouring
yeah,
out explosively,
yeah,
right? And the thing is, like, when we interact with another human being, if it's all bottled up, subconsciously they can sense that. If we are
mm,
explosively just blowing out that emotion, sometimes that can be a big trigger for them because it's intense and who knows how it pushes their buttons. And the more
yeah,
our own nervous system is able to be with that emotion, then the easier it becomes. We can feel very angry, but instead of either bottling it up or bursting it out, we can feel that and we can share that, but we can talk about that, right? It's here, it's present, but it's no longer explosive, it's no longer suppressed. So there is this, if you will, middle ground, something different.
yeah, yeah. You, at least I've been. So I'm on 48 hours of fasting now with only
Yeah,
water, and
very cool.
I've noticed a lot more of that stuff too. Like it's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
about being the food makes us like really cloudy and stuff. So like
It's a
once you
beautiful
get all that out of your
distraction.
system,
It's a
it's
beautiful
like
distraction for sure.
yeah,
I've always
it's a
noticed that.
good
I
yeah,
always noticed that on my
yeah.
own fasts. Yeah, I'm so much more sensitive
It's
to all this stuff.
crazy. Yeah, more sensitive, more aware. And then also you realize too, what's interesting is like half of the time that we're eating and drinking stuff, it's almost like you just want to escape like
Oh,
whatever's going
big
on.
time,
It's crazy
big
because
time. I've
yeah,
really noticed that when I did my vipassana some years ago, and it was
yeah,
very obvious when all of those easy, common ways to distract myself were gone. I could see like how those uncomfortable emotions they would immediately trigger the body to like, oh, what can I do? Like, can I at least have some tea or whatever, right? To distract
yeah,
myself, to find
yeah.
some comfort in something physical.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because I knew the feeling very well. Like before I fasted at all, I knew the feeling from like trying to abstain from like certain substances and certain stuff.
Yeah.
But like I've done like I think this is my third fast of 3 days, and yeah, every time it's like it does seem easier. I'm not gonna lie. Like the more you do it, because you know you're not gonna die.
Yeah,
The first
yeah.
time you do it, you're like, oh, I might die, or
I
you're
know.
not
I
gonna
was so
die.
scared the
But
first time.
yeah, you start feeling your heart rate. You get like a headache. You gotta lay down. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
this time, like I'm going for my walks. I'm doing everything I would normally do,
Hmm.
and it's like the psychological part of that too, and that kind of relates back to the thing about just doing what you're feeling and acknowledging it. Because if we're really in touch with that part of ourselves on the first fast, we'd probably sit back and be like, I think I'm okay. But they've told me my whole life I'll die if I don't eat for a whole day or something. So it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And then back to relationships, like It is. I think it does all come down to vulnerability, really. Um,
Right, for sure.
at least for me in my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
The more
people
we can
can't.
find a way to be vulnerable, right? Or at least, like, and it's such a multi-layered thing because sometimes we cannot, right? But maybe then we can take a tiny step and say, you know what, I'm scared to be vulnerable or whatever.
Yeah, I learned it from doing artwork. Honestly, like if there's money involved in something, it puts so much
Mm,
more pressure on it, and that I can't
mm,
get it done in like a reasonable amount of time. It's like I start thinking about like the money part of it. And once I
right.
remove that from my head, everything just flows naturally because it's like you're trying to make it good. So, and that
Yeah.
fucks everything up. Like you just have to let it be what it is and participate in that process as much as you can,
Mm,
as much as we think we have control. Use whatever that is, participate, but letting go is like always helped me. Like this piece here, that didn't come from like like controlling any process. That came from me just sitting there and looking at the canvas and drawing a line and looking at it and drawing a line and being like, I think it would look good if something was here and I would do it. I think it would be good if it was
yeah.
there and I would do it. I
Hmm.
realized these stories starting to play out in each section eventually. And then obviously it becomes repetitive and you fill it in like most things in life. But that discovery process was, it can only come from organic self, I guess. Like just letting yourself come through yourself and do whatever it is that you're fucking doing at the time. At least that's
Hmm.
what I think. I don't know. But
Yeah.
that's how I discovered that in motion was my art. I used to create purely from a place of trying to earn money, and ever since I've like tried to just express what I'm feeling at the time,
Oh, wow.
that's when things start working. Yeah, it's not like I'm killing it either. Like I barely make sales, but at the same time, I'm doing better work. At least I think I am. Other people tell me it's better. So that journey for me has taught me a lot about life and how I see things kind of playing out and what I see in other people. It's kind of it's really unique. Um, that's why I always tell people to try art therapy. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not about like escaping or doing some picture. It's like you feel that thing of like trying versus flowing. It's cool.
Mm.
Hmm.
That does sound cool.
Fuck
And
yeah.
it's a beautiful piece. Yeah.
That thing is like 7.5 feet wide and like four and a half
Yeah.
feet tall.
Nice.
It's huge. Yeah, that shit hurts your body to make those. It takes like 60 hours. You gotta like sit over a table and like, at least I do. I don't know. That's how I do it. Um, it's like a labor of love. It actually kind of hurts, like for real. It's
Yeah.
fucked
Yeah.
up.
Totally.
But yeah. And then you can't do that shit all the time either. Like if any pursuit, like even people that like write code and trade and all this stuff, it's like that's killing them too if they're trying to achieve something that's it's not about not achieving the impossible or not having success. It's about doing what's true to you and like a combination of data and truth.
For sure, right?
Um,
And we always hope to find some kind of external validation for that. And I guess if
mm,
you trade in or whatever, then your validation is your monetary success. And it's awesome when
yeah,
it's working out, but sometimes it doesn't, right? And you've seen some traders then being suicidal or whatever. And it's so much
yeah,
harder, I think, for artists, right? Because then like how do you know if what you have created is great or not, right? Like because it's a purely judgment, right? And then if
yeah,
your art is not being purchased or whatever, right, it's so easy then to go into this story that, oh, it sucks and people don't like my art, and then it extrapolates into I suck and so on. It can be so difficult. I've seen so many artists struggle
yeah.
with that. Yeah.
It's tough. And then some of us like we get stuck in this like maybe this will work, maybe this will help, maybe and it's like And back to your first point with that, like this piece, I had one person that I'm kind of like working for now. It's actually become like a good situation all of a sudden, and he was like, "Dude, that's $100,000 art piece in the right environment." And then I went to a gallery in town
Yeah.
yesterday, and they're like, That's not our style. We don't want to show that here." I'm like, so there's just like no way to
Yes.
like one was
No,
like full
I
on like
totally get
whoa,
it.
and the
Yeah.
other's like it's fucking crazy. The subjective mind is cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and everything is subjective.
I don't
So
know. Everything is like I'm watching leaves kind of. If you see me distracted, there's leaves falling from the trees out the window, and I get stuck like looking at them a little bit. They're
yeah.
just like, I don't know. It's very cool. Um, but yeah, like, and even then, like that's a story of what I'm doing. I love analyzing that stuff too because then when you stop analyzing, it's like a maybe it's maybe I'm using it as like a workout now, or maybe I'm just bullshitting right now. I have no idea. There's no way to tell. I think that's what's cool about this whole experience. There's like really no way to put your finger on any of it.
No,
Um,
you can, have a different story about it, but it is what it is, end of the day.
yeah, and we're about to wrap up. I see our timer's about to go off. We're at 1 minute, but that reminds me of this saying in Buddhism where they always say, I forget who said it, but there's nowhere to stand. Like when you're really like consciousness and reality, like there's really no firm footing
No.
to hold
It's
on
like
to ever because it's
yeah,
just
it's like infinite falling. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, which I guess like when you look at our planet, that's kind of like what it's doing. It's like it's in order, and there's like some order to the chaos, but everything's still just fucking falling. It's like whoa,
Right on.
it's crazy. But all right, well, this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
I thought that went good, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. Bye, everybody. Let me find the
Take care,
button
guys.
again.